I'm so excited for the spa day. Candles lit, music on, hot tub warm and ready. And then my chronic hives come back. Again, in the middle of my spa day. What a wet blanket. Looks like another spell of itchy red skin. If you have chronic spontaneous urticaria or CSU, there is a different treatment option. Hives during my next spa day? Not if I can help it. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
Median U.S. CEO pay hits record $16.8 million. That's on average on soaring stock awards, not base pay. So 16.8. My take is and has always been pay for performance fixes all of this. If the company is doing well under your leadership, you should get paid as the CEO. If not, not so much.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that. Exactly how the fuck it should be. Pay for performance. I mean, look, I'm not against all these people out here saying CEOs make a gajillion dollars. They're running a 100,000 person company. Bitch, they're going to make fucking money.
Yeah,
like, can you run the company? Can you do it? No. So, yeah, a CEO of the CEO of IBM, 450,000 people, whatever it is, should not make the same as someone in an Amazon warehouse just because of pay gap. Right. They're doing a job, a very different job. I think pay for performance, I'm game for that.
Yeah, Ryan, I think part of it is sometimes you'll see statistics on like the multiple, right? The CEO of X makes 6,000 times the amount that this other guy makes. So I do so I think some of those headline grabbing figures you have a natural sort of reaction to, but I do think I agree with you guys in terms of get compensated for performance, but I do think.
What's going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tinkup here with another episode of The Barf. William, what's happening, brother?
I'm doing well, and we have a guest. Right?
We do. I know. We didn't get to him yet. I was asking you first.
I'm doing well. I'm going to give you the best one-liner that I read this week, and I want to see how you and Bob respond to it.
All right.
And it's diplomas are the new NFTs. Expensive, regretful, and functionally useless.
Agree.
Bob?
That's pretty harsh. Considering I'm about to spend 6 figures on a higher education for my one and only child.
Yeah. Ryan's got one going in. I've got one first year university.
Nope. State school scholarships are nada. Your choice, homie.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyhow, Bob, to you, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Sun's out, and I'm looking forward to another conference next week. Going back to Vegas for Unleash.
Unleashed.
This should be good. Hopefully not too far off the leash, but no, I'm looking forward to a constructive event.
Yeah, we did. We were at the Recruiting Innovation Summit last week. William and I, we had a great time. We podcast over at the Chatterworks booth. Yep. It was a good vibe there, man.
Great vibe.
I loved it.
First of all, Red Rock Casino and Resort, shout out. About 11 miles off the strip, 25 minute drive from Harry Reid, the airport. Man, I just like being off the strip. It was up closer to the mountains. Yeah. And I told Michael, my wife, I'm like, it was like I was in Scottsdale. I felt like I was in Scottsdale or Mesa or Tempe, not Vegas. Because I never went to the casino level. Or I don't remember going to the casino level.
No,
I didn't hear
never
the bells or any of that stuff.
No, well, what I enjoyed is I was on floor 6. I went to floor 5 for the event, and then I went back up to floor 6. I was good, literally off the elevator to the event. And this was, I think it was the second, it could have been the third time that I've ever been outside in Vegas at an event. And it wasn't for a party or anything. I literally just went for my morning and afternoon walks. but I walked the entire area and nobody bothered me. No one even said hi to me. You do it
Didn't
out
have to
there.
fight off the homeless
No.
or hookers, whatever.
No. I don't even think they exist out there.
Oh,
It was
no,
crazy. I did see two. I
No.
did see when I got off the main area, there were 2 homeless people, but they were sleeping, so they were.
Well, that bothered you. I thought she was going to say there were no hookers. I'm like, it's a bridge too far.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be.
You're still in Vegas.
Yeah. All right, man. You want to kick us off?
I do. Let's get into the breaking news. Already got a story for you. Companies with DEI programs, 6 in 10 hiring managers say the company prioritizes diversity over qualifications. A. B. 1 in 10 say their company avoids hiring white men. Mm-hmm. This is resumebuilder.com. So first of all, they surveyed 1,200 hiring managers. So if you've wondered in the past few months why DEI has gotten its world shocked, is Trump's base is mostly white. Companies that are eliminating the DEO programs, customer bases are primarily white. I'm not complaining at all as a white guy. Don't hire white people. I don't give a shit. But it is interesting to see in this survey that 1 in 10 just avoid hiring white men. And, as 3 white guys, we might have some opinions about that. And again, I don't care because I'm an entrepreneur. But for the folks that actually get jobs and corporate jobs, that they actually might care. So
yeah, I don't think that's legit. I think that's a bogus. I do. I think when they say 1 in 10, like, come on. I mean, that's
10%, Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know.
They avoid. That was the survey question.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
All right, Bob, what do you got?
This is just a ridiculous state of affairs. I think we're in here. Fairness. So you guys know I do spend a lot of my time in human-centric AI, not just like responsible AI. What does the legislation say? Yada yada. Yeah. Because that in itself is sort of, it's the stick as opposed to the carrot. Like, are we being fair? Are we building up a reputation to be a trusted, employer, brand? Do we want to hire the best people regardless of what they look like? And maybe even, some of the hidden.
So what makes you more upset? Is it that they prioritize diversity over qualifications, or that they avoid hiring white men?
They're both terrible.
No. I know they're both terrible. Well, I just want to know which one's worse in your
opinion. It's a fair question. I think that
because they're different things.
Well, they're tracked and they're done for different reasons, right? Like, right. Actively looking for diverse candidates is exactly why the Trump administration reacted the way they did to these policies. Right. But to just exclude, white guys,
an entire category of people.
Yeah, that's just like, well, this will help, just push us in that direction anyway.
So, I mean, here's the first thought that I had when I read this. The 3 of us make a huge amount of money somewhere. I don't know. Let's just call it something. We're gifted. A genie gives us all, several $1 billion. We decide to buy let's say a basketball team. We can even buy the Sixers. They need help. Mm-hmm. So we buy the Sixers, and then one of us comes up with a genius policy of, we're not going to recruit any tall black guys. That's going to be the policy. Mm-hmm. We're just not going to recruit any tall black guys. Now,
just a starting 5 of John Stocktons and see what happens.
Well, no, we can get Eastern Europeans. No, they're good.
Yeah,
but my point is, just take some talented people, whatever it is, baseball team. We're not going to hire any Latins. Okay, well, that just shed at least 40% of your available great baseball players. It's like, would we ever do this in a sport? And if we would never do this in a sport, pick your favorite volleyball. Who gives a shit? If you pick your favorite sport and then take one segment out of that population out, and then just say we're not gonna hire these people. we would never do that in a sport because we're trying to win. The whole game is the whole reason we're here is to win trophies.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work there, if the logic doesn't work there, it doesn't work in corporate America.
Yeah. All right.
What do you got?
Next one up. Lawmakers propose bipartisan bill to expand paid family leave through state-led programs, essentially push them down into the state.
So do the states then pay for it?
Yes and no. So this is where I'm kind of torn on this, right? So the approach itself, I like, don't hate, kind of seems like the right thing to do. Every state's a little diverse. They all need different things. I get it. Where's the questions I have is where's the oversight, right? Like Pennsylvania can't have, 30 days and New York has 5 days. I mean, is that what's going to happen?
You can if you want to attract a bunch of people.
Well, you can't exactly, and I think that's what eventually will happen. There'll be no regulated approach to this. So there is federal funding for it, yes, but there's also the state funding for it, yes. So,
what happens when employees behave badly? Boy, we could do an entire TV show, maybe a Netflix special on that. Well, Ryan and I sat down and recorded episodes for FAMA, and we asked practitioners, give us your most outrageous story. The sales leader that brings cocaine to work, whatever. Just bring us the outrageous, and it is funny. So if you need a laugh, which we all do from time to time, search for Workplace Misconduct wherever you get your podcast, and you'll find it. And trust me, you will laugh and cry, but you'll definitely laugh. All right. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this, man. I kind of like the government just having the federal government saying, here's what our work ethic is going to be. Here's what our work regulations are going to be. And now the states can operate within that framework.
Bob, you take a stab at it first. What do you think?
I mean, for some of these kinds of issues related to, healthcare and wellness programs, any kind of, benefits programs. I mean, I think it's awkward to just have this sort of state to state, migration. It's almost like the state, part of the state's own sort of, branding and incentives to have you reside there. I just think it's awkward. I know there's things that I don't know about the way that ecosystem works that would maybe make it extremely difficult to have equal, consistent kinds of benefits, from state to state. And there might be some logical reasons for that. There might be just some bureaucratic, this is how it's always been kind of situation. But I just want to see employers do more to support people in their needs, whatever form that takes.
I'm a states person, so I'm going to say let the states sort it all out, take it out of the federal hands at all. I mean, just like no federal regulation. Let the states then make their own determination, because first of all they'll have to pay for it. So they'll then raise the money to then pay for it, right, or do that. But really, it's about more of the oversight. But then you allow states to then say, like South Dakota, they'd like to bring in more businesses. Okay, well then they'll have a really generous, FMLA.
But you can layer that. You should be able to layer that on top of a federal, sort of umbrella thing that says these are the basics. Same thing with,
so
reproductive care.
You're saying these are the floors, and then the states can make the ceilings, right? So the floors being, here's the law, here's what everyone has to do. If you want to do, and the states come in from there. I'm game for that, actually.
Yeah, because otherwise you could live in a state where some, the state legislators basically are, completely, right wing, left wing, whatever. They're making these policies that don't make a lot of sense, and they're not necessarily in the best interest of citizens. But there's got to be. Why are we the United? Why are we United States?
Right.
Like what?
So the
just
baseline,
privatize and push to the states everything that was actually some of which was working quite well.
Create a baseline, and then let the states decide what makes sense for their citizenry. Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel the same way about the this AI legislation. Why does it take like municipalities and counties? I mean, New York is case in point, right? They've got city, county, and state, bills or proposals that are not necessarily in sync, and so it's just a cluster.
Yeah, create a base, and if you want to do something special, add to it. Great. All right, Bob, Brian, let me pitch you this story. Median U.S. CEO pay hits record 16.8 million. That's on average on soaring stock awards, not base pay. So 16.8. My take is and has always been pay for performance fixes all of this. If the company is doing well under your leadership, you should get paid as the CEO. If not, not so much. An advanced salary for the first 2 years as a draw. So basically, when you take the CEO job, you don't know. I mean, you might know some things, but when you take the job, but you got 2 years of advance. So you know that 2 years, okay, you got money, not a problem. And then from there, it goes well, or if the company plummets, your salary plummets.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that. Exactly how the fucking should be. Pay for performance. I mean, look, I'm not against all these people out here saying CEOs make a gajillion dollars. They're running a 100,000 person company. Bitch, they're going to make fucking money.
Yeah,
like, can you run the company? Can you do it? No. So, yeah, a CEO of the CEO of IBM, 450,000 people, whatever it is, should not make the same as someone in an Amazon warehouse just because of pay gap. They're doing a job, a very different job.
I think
pay for performance, I'm game for that.
Yeah, Ryan, I think part of it is sometimes you'll see statistics on like the multiple, right? The CEO of X makes 6,000 times the amount that this other guy makes. So I do so I think some of those headline grabbing figures you have a natural sort of reaction to, but I do think I agree with you guys in terms of get compensated for performance, but I do think you've got to get a little bit more granular and say what are these performance metrics and who else sort of contributed to this, and say that we're gonna divvy this up across the leaders who are truly sort of transforming and growing this organization to make it successful for the future. And so you just got to be careful of how you're incentivizing these guys.
Look at sports, man. College football, pro football, same bit. You don't win, you get fired. you win a Super Bowl or a college national championship. Turns out you get a bigger paycheck.
I mean, look, why if Bryce Harper's making $45 million a year, whatever it is, should the person in accounting make the same amount of money?
No, hell no.
I mean, he's filling that stadium every night.
His jersey sales are paying the accountants the salary.
More.
Jersey sales, probably cup sales or bobblehead sales.
Yeah, so Bob, my daughter's infatuated with Brandon Marsh. She loves the beard, and we've been looking for a Brandon Marsh jersey in the store for a long time. And every time we go, it's Turner, it's Harper, it's just a couple.
They don't have the printer. They don't have the printer.
No. They're all MLB jerseys. They don't.
Yeah, but oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But we have in Texas at the Ranger Stadium. They have the thing that it's a MLB jersey.
Well, if you want to go to the store and buy the one that's like $300 fucking in the stadium, no. So anyway, all right.
Well, there you go.
All right, I got one here. So, job applicant sues Paycom over a background check. I feel like we've had one like this before. This is twin brother. So the twin brother, that guy got the job offer.
But
offer in hand.
Check on the other guy.
Done. Ran the background check. I don't know what they use. They use their own internal system. It's called like enhanced background checks or something. I don't know what.
That's a liability.
Yeah, I don't know what they use, whether it was like birth date or whatever. But anyhow, it came back. His brother has a criminal record, and there you go. So they rescinded the offer, Now he's got a lawsuit because for obvious reasons. And so I don't know what they're using, but we saw similar cases like this recently.
Wow.
With ADP, Sterling, and TransUnion, all within the last couple of years. So, I mean, look, there's unique identifiers out there. Use them.
Do you ever hang out with twins? Like guys?
Do I? I have twin cousins.
You have twin cousins?
Yeah.
I grew up with two guys, Jeff Sanford and Blake Sanford. And in 8th grade, we all took off school, went partying, drinking, getting high, whatever. And Blake Sanford was in a bedroom with a girl, and they took his clothes. And again, everybody's 3 sheets. And so he comes out with a 22, and everybody scurries. Like everybody just runs. One guy did not run. He shot him and killed him.
Jesus. Well, there you go.
This is 8th grade, which is
next story.
This guy just came out right, literally right center of his forehead. Dude died. I can't remember that guy's name, unfortunately. He went to jail, clearly. Jeff Sanford, model student. So, like, it's in my mind as you're telling this story, I'm thinking they have the exact same birthday. They have different paths after that 8th grade incident, a murder. My bad. So I could see it. Like, I could literally see.
So you took my background check. Good story.
Jeff Sanford. Jeff Sanford
Jesus.
applied for that job. Blake Sanford got his background check.
Let's move on. We'll let Bob comment on this next one.
All right. Oh, yeah, Bob, you're going to love
I don't know
one.
how to follow that one anyway.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
You don't. You just talk. It's nothing to follow there.
This one's fun. This one you're going to like. I promise. Ex-Disney worker who hacked menus gets 3 years in prison.
Menus? Like on website menus, or
just let it play out. The fired employee admitted that he changed prices, added profanity from cheesy grits to cheesy shits, and altered items so that they appear to be free of allergens. Think peanuts, tree nuts, and shellfish. He deleted the mention of peanut and replaced it with the ingredient list of with milk. This is New York Times. It's everywhere, by the way.
You had me up until that.
So again, this is a person that has been fired. So he's been terminated. He hacks in and changes the menu. Okay, and so the FBI got involved. Anytime the FBI gets involved, they've already got proof. They don't get involved in stuff.
I was good with this whole thing and thought it was great, and wondering why are you getting 3 years when there's people out there doing crazy
shellfish.
Shit. Right. Up
Peanut
until
allergies.
That point.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Take the stapler.
What does the fact that they used to work at Disney have to do with anything?
Oh no, that's just a story. It could be former Walmart employee,
Okay. And this is a menu at
like on Disney
one
cruises.
Particular. Oh. Okay.
No. Yeah, it's an ex-Disney employee hacked at Disney.
That's right. I got it.
Right.
Okay.
They hacked in.
So they created
that cheesy grits to cheesy shits. That was actually a quote. They changed that. So he put in some, it's a he. Shocking, not shocking. He put in profanity, but then he started messing with the allergens.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
So, you have to list like on those menus, this has peanuts, this is peanut oil, blah, 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 all that stuff. And if you've ever seen somebody with a severe peanut allergy go into shock. I mean, I don't have that stuff, but man, I've seen it on a plane.
What are you thinking, Bob?
Well, I went to a party recently, and there were a bunch of desserts I brought dessert, but there were already a bunch of desserts on the table. And I saw this like chocolate covered like bundt cake, and I went to take a slice. And underneath the chocolate icing was a layer that I just assumed was like caramel or something like that. And it was peanut butter.
Oh my God.
And I was like, who the fuck?
I wouldn't even think of it, to be honest.
Brings this cake to a sort of mixed party. Like, I didn't know everyone there. They definitely didn't know me. No like label, no warning or whatever, and just plops it down in the middle of this giant kitchen island just for anyone to grab.
Dude,
like that. Are you freaking kidding me?
I've laced cookies and brownies before with weed. So I'm guilty of that in a mixed party, just because it's like, it's not going to kill you, but you're definitely going to get fucked up.
Yeah, I get, see, like at a kid's party, you say something adult party, you put it there. It's up to the adult to figure that shit out.
I don't know.
I know, but adults can have allergies too. I just thought it was awkward this day and age. I mean, I don't know. I've never experienced that in my life.
It's too easy to make a little tint card that says, this has peanut butter.
This has alcohol. I don't know. All right.
Anyway.
Kohl's CEO. All right. I found this story and I had to put it in there.
I read this story, actually.
I don't care what the CEO did. Not that he's going to listen to this fucking show. But I hate their pricing model, man. Like, you go in the Kohl's and they have half off or buy one, get one free dress shirts.
I'm not sure I've ever been in a Kohl's.
It's like, we have a lot of them around here. So the shirt will be like $44, right? And then it'll be buy one, get one free. But the price, or normally the shirt's $22.
So they make it $35.
So now they make the shirt full price, and they say it's buy one get one free. You're still paying $22 a shirt. It's not buy one get one free. But then when you ask them and you say something,
deceiving as shit.
It is. But then it says regular price, $44, not the $22.
No, that's not regular price.
No, I hate for that reason. So anyway,
when I read this story, go ahead, finish.
Yeah. So the story is the Kohl's CEO, Ashley Buchanan, she was let go or fired. Was let go over an ethics violation by funneling contracts to the romantic relationship. $2.5 million that he has to pay back in a signing bonus. And I forget what the amount of the actual contract was, but anyhow, he's paying back some money and he's out of a job.
Yeah, I think the routing things to people love, are going to get kickback from, whatever. I think that shit goes on all the time, pretty much everywhere. So I'm like, there's no shock for me. What I think where this is going to impact Ashley, is Kohl's is a big retailer, so it's a big box retailer.
Kohl's
and there's only
business.
There's only so many of these jobs, right? So now this is going to impact, like, he was going to probably parlay that into another job at another big box retailer. And once you have an ethics violation, he's going to be not unemployable because he could always use consulting. However, it's going to make it harder for another big box retailer to take him on.
I think he gave up the right to work at another retailer when he went to Kohl's. Just saying.
Somebody's got to do that job.
I have no clue.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously going to have to make a significant pivot, I would say.
Well, if he's got a girlfriend, he could be
right.
That could be second wife or first wife, and he's older. Who knows? I don't know.
I think of, like, that kind of thing happens if you think about, like, nepotism, favoritism, relationships, or whatever. That kind of stuff happens all the time, not necessarily contractually, but it is sort of contractually if it's an employment contract. But I mean, that's as much of a problem as other types of bias or discrimination in hiring. It happens all the time, right? And it kind of gets into a situation where you think about, because I'm against resumes, even though the AI versus AI thing has just shifted to assessments and other parts of the recruiting funnel. But I just forgot where I was going with that. But so we're so protective of physical attributes and things like that, and backgrounds or whatever. But there's bias. Every human hiring manager has bias towards people that are like them, or people that went to their university, or stuff like that. So or it's friends, cousin or whatever. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. And I'm not saying we shouldn't leverage our relationships and our network. Absolutely, you should, but you should still be qualified for and an appropriate person to put.
I'll give you an example. In my life, my brother has been a high school golf coach for 30-something years. He's run his own tournament. He's probably been to thousands of golf courses and tournaments at this point. If one of our clients came to us and said, "Hey, you know what? We want to put on a golf tournament and bring some of our customers in," the first and only person I would talk to is my brother. It'd be stupid not to him. I know him. Yeah. I trust him. And he's done it 1,000 times. He knows where all the errors are made. Why wouldn't I? That's just dumb. I'd probably disclose. Now, that would be the difference, I think, in something like what we have here with Coles and Ashley. I would disclose.
Sure, they have procedures, though, and policies in place. You can't be sleeping with the person you're giving the contract to. And it has to be disclosed.
I got awkward with my brother real quick, but yeah.
But that happens with founding teams all the time, right? Founding teams. You're going to work with people you've worked with in other startups before, people you trust, or people that you trust, and they trust this person.
That's
or
also,
whatever.
I love the sports theme that I keep creating. That's why a lot of rappers and basketball players go back and date girls that they knew when they were poor. Because they got on when they were poor. They knew them. They liked them. They helped them. They're friends, whatever. Because once you get rich, you don't know what the intentions of the other person truly is. Brian and Bob, we got this. We got laid off federal workers hope to land state and local jobs. The reality is messy. This is a Wall Street Journal article, so you can go read about this. And of course, when I first read it, I'm like, what did you think they were going to do? When all the layoffs started happening, we started, with Doge, we started seeing all the layoffs kind of happen. It's like, did you think they were going to go in the private sector, the nonprofit sector, become entrepreneurs? I'm shocked that people are shocked about this.
Well, I think for a lot of people, it is the natural sort of response. Let me go to some state roles where hopefully there's similar, not necessarily exact titles, but similar responsibilities, similar skills. But I would encourage all those people to think more deeply and get more insights about their transferable skills, because you never know where their experiences or perhaps their passions and interests could take them. So let's give it a shot.
I think what we're seeing here, though, is, and I didn't read the article, William, but I think what we're seeing here is government employees get a very different set of rules to play by. Okay. They get very different offerings, very different benefits. They're not going to get that in the private sector. So their fallback is state, local, to get these offerings.
Pension benefits. Their salaries might not be as high as for-profit businesses, but the benefits are.
Their benefits,
we talked about this.
My mom was a federal employee for 40-some years.
Mine was too. Yeah.
And it's, the healthcare, the pensions, everything she gets is like she wouldn't have given it up for the world. And, she got my nephew into it. Same idea. I think in my gut, that's what we're saying. All right. Next one. I'm going to pronounce this name here. Toku. I think that's the name of the company. Toku accuses their general counsel of downloading 25,000 confidential documents ahead of going to the new job at Liquify. So, calling this round 2, baby. This is corporate espionage, right?
Yeah, but usually you don't see it from a lawyer, man.
Well, yeah,
that's the thing. That's unusual. You usually see it from a disgruntled employee.
Yeah. So this is his name's Ben Snipes. He's the former general counsel who now works at Liquify, or I don't even know if he still does. But anyhow, 25,000 downloaded it to his personal cloud. This was in mid 2024. Of those 25,000, 500 of them were allegedly found on Liquify's internal servers. So but wait, there's more. Not with this guy. Go back to Deal, right? We all know the Deal situation with Rippling. So Deal has filed, and I got this right off of their site. Deal has filed a motion to dismiss their lawsuit, again, arguing that the case should be heard in Ireland because the employee was in Ireland. Okay, so
change of venue.
So change of venue, right? They're hoping to get it out of the States. Anyhow, So then Deal, or whatever, accuses Rippling of legal act or for misleading and legal action, overabundance of legal action to scare clients, etc. So here's what out of all of this stupidity, here's what I found really funny. So there is a tweet that was put out by Parker Conrad, who's the co-founder, CEO of Rippling. So he posted this on X. I'm going to read this so I don't mess it up. Deal filed their response to Rippling today. And then in quotes, in hundreds of pages of filings, what stands out, this is what he said, in hundreds of pages of filing, what stands out is what's missing. Nowhere does Deal dispute our central allegation that Alex Bawazez, the CEO, co-founder of Deal, personally recruited a spy to steal Rippling's trade secrets and personally directed the theft. He went directly at it right on X. He's been very public now.
You and I talked about this on the way to the airport yesterday.
We did, yeah.
The day before. And if we're the CEO of Parker or one of the executives at Rippling, we're never taking a settlement. No. We're letting this go through the courts for years just to bankrupt Deal. Again, they've got enough evidence to make that charge. Yeah. And they made that charge. I don't care if I spend $100 million in legal fees. I'm bankrupting Deal for just because it's a shitty behavior. Yeah. I mean, if true, of course, allegedly.
Yeah, and I don't know that bankrupt, but yeah, I just thought out of all that, another one. His tweet was was pretty direct, and he posted it.
So what? I don't know what the guy's background is, the ex general counsel, but I mean, yeah, that's an enormous. I mean, you're the top lawyer at a company. How did you think you could possibly?
Too much at risk. Way too much at risk.
Yeah.
There's got to be a smarter way to do the same thing and not get caught. In my humble opinion.
Or just don't do it.
Yeah, or just don't do it. Good point. Y'all are going to love this story because you both love this topic. Turning to bots for mentorship poses a paradox. Students and young professionals may gain more access to resources and support, but have less access to social and professional networks. This is on Axios. And first thing, this assumes that networks and networking stay the same. But to me, this is some fear-mongering bullshit. So,
what do you mean they won't have access to social networks? Like
they won't have the same access that people older than them. That's the bit, is that they're going to use bots to learn and mentor and do all this stuff and learn, so they'll get there faster, but they won't have the same professional network that someone that's older has. So they get there faster. They don't have the same support system or a large or quality support system.
I agree with you on this one.
Well, you agree with the story. I'm not taking a position. You think it's fear?
No, I agree with
fear-mongering bullshit?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I
didn't say that, but I agree with you.
Well, you like mentorship. You ask people all the time about mentorship. Yeah. And we typically talk about mentorship as like, hey, you should have a bot. You should have this little thing so you can ask questions all the time and get there and learn, whether or not it's company provided or otherwise. But what this author is saying is like, well, you can do that. You should do that if you're a young person, but it's going to put you ahead in one category and behind in another category.
I mean, Bob, I don't know where you're going with this, but I'd have to see, like, is this author 65?
No,
right?
She's young. She's a writer. She's written for tech. I looked her up on LinkedIn.
I don't know. I don't think it puts them behind at all. I think it puts them ahead, and I think their network is not going to suffer.
I view a lot of these use cases as something that should supplement, human interaction and guidance, not to fully replace it. I think about that from mentorship. I think about it from coaching, tutoring to an extent. I mean, there's a balance, right? And just like our kids, I mean, try to limit their exposure and in some cases obsession with social media. But I know that even if my daughter's spending more than I think is normal as an adult time on Snap or something like that, I also know that she's got a very active social life. She's not afraid to go up and talk to her teachers if she doesn't understand something. She is she's not even 17, but she's basically an adult in a lot of ways and has good judgment. So those are the kinds of skills that I think we need to instill in people.
I've become very cynical of people writing stuff online now.
Me too.
Especially at large publications where their goal isn't to inform.
No.
Their goal is to drive traffic. And this will drive traffic.
Right. All right, we have 2 acquisitions to go through. And they're really super simple. So SmartLinks, a provider of workforce management solutions for senior care organizations, has acquired StafferLink, a provider of contingent staffing management software for the healthcare industry. So this is on Business Wire, so you go read the story and all that stuff. It's a nice lateral acquisition where 2 providers are targeting kind of the same industry, or if not similar industry, for senior care, healthcare. It should pan out really nicely. They were probably partnered, and so this is just a nice extension of their partnership and acquisition. So it should pan out nicely for their customers. Software brings in contingent staffing software. Second, all right, so Arbor XR acquires Inform XR. Check that. To deliver plug-and-play enterprise VR learning analytics and LMS integration. This is on Yahoo Finance. So, in the learning space, it's always been a game of who's using what device to learn what for how long and why. They want measurement. And one company had the measurement, the other company had the devices. So it's like, this is a great acquisition in terms of helping the learning and development, training and development folks actually get into the analytics part of it, all the way down to the device level. Yeah. So shocking companies want to know what people are learning.
Yeah, we were at Cornerstone last year.
Yeah.
When we did Connect. The VR, the Connect, yeah. And Bob, we did these VR, they broke out their VR training.
Yep. And
it was pretty badass. Like you had to wear the big thing, which is awkward. Yep. But I sat there and had conversations with people coming in and running through an interview with me, a job interview, and taking me through it. I think it was a sales simulation or something or other. But it was pretty cool. I had to sit down. I couldn't stand it.
Mine was grocery checkout. So my training I did it because I did
get arrested?
No.
Self checkout, yeah.
So I did it when I was a young kid, and I wanted to see like what's changed, right? So I put on the headset, and they're like, "There's all the bag of groceries, and are coming on the conveyor belt." And you literally do the job, and it just brought me back to that time period, and like the job has not changed.
All right, Bob, we're going to get into some research here.
Okay.
I'm going to try to hold back my enthusiasm. I agree with this one a little bit, but I also just want to smack people sometimes. This is like halfway in between for me. 1 in 10 U.S. workers are taking micro retirements to recharge mid-career. So micro retirements.
Sounds like a layoff.
It's no, micro retirement is like sabbaticals, paid or unpaid leave. To just say, you know what, I'm going to go find myself for 6 months. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good with that. Like, everyone has their thing. If I had, I don't know. But anyway, so this is mostly seen between Gen Z and millennials as a way to combat burnout and reassess life priorities. I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you, So this is kind of where I'm like, I don't know if I like whatever. Anyhow, two numbers I want to toss at you guys. Bob, let's go with you first. I'll get your reaction. 10% of women have, 10% of workers have already, because it said a W and 10% of workers have already taken a micro retirement. Only 35% of employers currently offer any kind of extended leave policy to support this behavior.
What are 30%?
35.
I'm surprised it's even that high because
me too.
I can see most managers, leaders, if you're, older millennials to Gen X and older, just being like, wait, what? Like you think you know burnout, kid? You don't know. You don't know anything yet. Like you're just getting started.
Latchkey kids. Yeah.
I think there's So I'm surprised it's 35%. I don't know how micro. 6 months sounds like more than micro.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have the benefit for it called micro retirement. That'd be pretty cool though. Sabbatical, something like multi-month PTOs, stuff like that.
Sabbaticals have been in a higher ed. Sabbaticals are normal.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a bit, but that's also so that they can do research,
yeah,
and write a book.
Yeah. Well, so to that point, William, what's interesting is, like, I don't know what the statistics are these days of people with side hustles. But I know it's significant. Like, I think more than 50%, as one survey I saw, more than 50% of people have side hustles. So is this micro retirement as a result of the collective, burnout from all the things that you're trying to do?
Micro retirement.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm going to take a micro retirement to go build my business.
Well, yeah,
that's what I would do.
I think some people are genuinely using it as a rebuild. I agree. I believe that, but I just think there's a lot of this stuff out there, and I've never heard the term micro retirement, so I thought that was pretty funny.
I would support this if it was a high performer. So I'll go to this point. You used your baseball player Bryce Harper as for example. Bryce Harper's wife dies in a fiery plane crash or some shit like that. Okay, he needs I don't even know if he's married. My point is okay, something tragic, really tragic happens. If Bryce wants to stay on because he wants to just keep his mind in baseball and not, that's cool. But if Bryce needs 4 or 5 months off to just go and do what he needs to do, I'm down with that because he's a high performer. But like a low performer, a C player,
are you gonna pay him his normal salary?
100%.
You go get some life insurance now, man. And all these flights coming up, and you keep talking about plane crashes.
That is the least thing that I worry about. Like that.
God. So 2/3 of Bob, I put this one here for you. Right. 2/3 of individuals use AI regularly, yet 79% express concerns about its risks.
Well, that's the same percentage. No, it's not. So 2/3 is 75%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is
so 75 and 79.
Yeah. So this is a global study by KPMG done in conjunction with the University of Melbourne. They surveyed 48,000 individuals across 47 countries, revealing that while 66% use AI regularly, 79%,
that's actually 2/3,
are concerned about potential risks. So let me throw it first. I know you got reactions there. We'll go to Bob on this one, but two stats. 57% of employees hide their use of AI at work, often presenting AI-generated content of their own. I think it's a lot more than that, to be honest. I'm going to go 80%. 46% utilize AI for revenue-generating activities, but only 46% trust the AI tools. That I don't get the number, but there you
go. Well, first of all, your use of the tool and your acknowledgement that there are risks are not mutually exclusive, right? I mean, I use AI at least a little bit almost every day, and I still sort of fight with it or question, what it's given me back. It's either something that should be sort of cut and dry, like did you go out and look at what you should know is the right sort of trusted source or sources, or not. This shouldn't be ambiguous. I was talking to Claude. So I'm flying to Vegas next week, and I'm flying an airline that I've never flown before, but I'm flying out of JFK, unfortunately, which is a complete shit show. Mm-hmm. And so first it says, you're going to Terminal 5. And I'm like, that's JetBlue. And it's like, oh, I know it's normally JetBlue, but, Frontier also flies out of there. I'm like, you're full of shit. So I go to ChatGPT, and I see it's checking its sources, like it's Frontier's at Terminal 7. And so I look at the sources that ChatGPT gave me, and I go to the JFK website, and there it is, just clear as day. Frontier is at Terminal 7. So I go back to Claude just to aggravate it, I guess. Or try to. And it says, my bad. It says, sorry for giving you that information. I've reconsidered, and it's not 7 or 5. It's Terminal 1. I'm like, you are a fucking asshole.
I never use Claude. I don't like Claude.
but it's frustrating. So I know that there are risks, and if I asked it something about like some medical question or something like that, I know, or financial, question,
it could be cancer.
It's gonna be even less, reliable, because I don't even have the innate,
data,
knowledge to know whether it's full of shit or not. And so, so the risk is there. But I think the other piece of this, Ryan, was around, the sort of incognito shadow AI kind of use within the company, which, first of all, doesn't say a lot about those companies, because they haven't properly set up, policies and use. So I don't know the full, context of that, but I know that should be, an indicator that says your people are ready to augment their own work with these tools.
Yeah, and one thing on that, before we get to your final research there, I don't like when companies or people say, well, it's not their own, it's AI. I get that. But if we really want to leverage people's brains and we really want to move forward, why are we stopping them from brainstorming with an AI? Why? 100%. I mean, if the company one should be bringing these platforms in, and why wouldn't you want the individual to have a thought partner to work through and brainstorm and pull back their greatest work and push that forward? I don't care look, if William gives me something and says, hey, here's an outline on what I think we need to do for whatever, I don't care if fucking ChatGPT put that together. It's his brain. He put it together. Like, he worked it. Sure, employees can go in and say, hey, give me this. Then they don't even read it. Those are the employees that don't need a job, right? Those are the ones that are going
to. Actually, they need training, right?
They need training. Yeah.
They need policies. They need policies. They need tools. They need training.
Right.
And they need guidance.
Although it sounded better when I said they don't need a job.
Just like Goya painting, man. Just line them up against the wall and shoot them motherfuckers.
There we go.
Like, damn. Thought I was harsh. All right. This could get combative. So let's just see how this goes. 170% is the increase in U.S. job postings mentioning Gen AI or related terms from January 24 to January 25, based on the latest Indeed research from their research lab. That is at hiringlab.org, by the way. They got fantastic research. And everyone knows that we love them. I believe, and this is where we'll get into whether or not you're going to skewer me, I believe this is the lowest number we'll ever see, percentage-wise.
Maybe the largest gain.
Okay.
Not the largest number for me, because it's so new right now. In 3 years,
it just becomes embedded.
It's just a thing. Yeah. But this might be the biggest jump that we see.
Okay, Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're at that hump. I agree with Ryan. I think that at some point it becomes part of certainly any knowledge work that's going to be part of the job description, and then. To some extent, even deskless workers and some others, there may still be some, because remember, we're moving towards even voice as the UI, right? So you could be on your smart device of any kind. You don't have to be in front of a keyboard and a screen to necessarily interact with this. So I think it's going to be increasingly go up, and it's happened significantly. I know this because I haven't. My nieces are in college, and so the time from when one of them was interviewing for an internship to basically graduation, so only a year span, it went from the recruiter had no idea what she was talking about when she was talking about generative AI and how she used it in parallel, transparently used it in parallel with an assignment, to now whether or not her job offer could be rescinded in just a year. Right. So it's going to become the norm. And the CEO of Shopify talked about this, and some others have talked about this.
Yep.
It's going to be one of those areas that the company is going to be adopting AI. So how could you not hire people that have already taken the initiative and been resourceful to go and upskill themselves with that learning mindset to say, I've got to prepare myself. And we know the skills that are in demand of the future are not largely technical skills. The only one that's remotely technical is AI literacy, and maybe some data literacy that goes with that. But yeah, those are the skills that we're going to continue to look for. So I agree, the big jump is now, and then it's actually probably going to peter off to the point where you've got saturation with Gen AI skills.
Thing will come.
JD. Yeah.
The next new thing will come at that point.
Y'all will remember this. At a point you had on your resume that you had a familiar, or you're really good at Excel or Microsoft Word, right? I don't remember anyone ever, of a period when I was hiring, if anyone's ever said that they were good at the internet.
I'm good at the internet.
Now, they'd mentioned certain things in their jobs that were internet related, like, built a website, stuff like that. But then I don't remember anybody that I've hired that actually said they were
proficient in Word and Excel.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Now that I remember. Hell, I had that on my resume at one point.
But even that, they never tested you on that, though.
Oh hell no.
Nobody gave a shit. ASDF, JKL, semicolon. You can all fucking say.
Right.
Anyway, whatever.
I'm good at PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint.
Right. Are you building macros for your CFO or
column A, column B?
Hey, I can put check boxes and colors and conditional formatting all day.
Hell yeah.
I can filter like nobody's business.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting to some funding, right?
Yeah, funding time. Take it away.
Persona, a verified identity platform, knowing who's behind an online interaction becomes more important than ever, doubling down on making identity verification simple, secure.
Know who could use that?
Me?
No.
Okay, do tell. Go ahead.
We talked about them earlier. They just got for the lawsuit to Paycom.
Oh, fair. Blake Sanford.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Yeah.
So for human and any businesses, so they raised $200 million.
Wow, it's a big raise.
With persona.com. So you can see it's a Series D, so it's a big round. But this bit that they start with, it's actually in their write-up, is that identity is more complex than ever. I love this bit because it's basically saying, is this coming through a SaaS platform? Is it coming through an API? Is it an employee? Is it real? Is it a real employee? Is it a deep fake? Like, all of that stuff is identity. And so where is that data? Where is that coming in from, and verifying that? So it's a platform that does that.
Okay.
This platform has access. That employee has access. That employee is who they say they are, and verifying those things.
Love it.
$200 million.
Boom. That's a win.
All right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in that space. So I'll have to read up on that and see exactly what's unique. What their mode is,
All right, so we got one here, Supio, S-U-P-I-O, Supio. I'm gonna go with Supio.
I like Supio.
They took in $60 million. What'd you call it? Supio?
Supio.
Supio sounds like Texan. Can I have some water, please? Bless your heart, child. All right, Supio secures $60 million to expand its AI platform for personal injury law firms. I threw in some AI shit for you, Bob. So.
Ambulance chasers. These motherfuckers are getting smarter?
Yeah, so what they do is, it's exactly right. They put cameras all around, and they have AI that, no, I'm just kidding. So this is a legal play. I love this. I really love AI in the legal world. Yeah. I have nothing to do with legal, but I just think it's amazing in there. So this has been around for a bit. AI in legal has been around for a bit, but this crosses over into its core, which is revenue generating tasks.
Right.
So think like removing the lawyer and the paralegal, removing them from reviewing a 50,000, documents for a case, right? So these guys, three stats I want to throw at you, Bob, and then I want you to kind of give us a quick 30-second take on it. With Supio, they've already recorded their clients a $495 million verdict by going through all the documents and finding key areas that were missed, and they were able to then go back on that. 20 to 30% higher settlements because of inconsistencies found and things that lawyers missed in the review of documents. So they were able to get higher settlements. And because of all of this and the lawyers not having to do this, a 62% increase in case volume that the firms are able to take on.
So many thoughts here. First of all,
he's going to hate it. I love it because I'm just
no, I don't think he's going to hate it.
I'm going to sort of work backwards a little bit. So the increase in caseload makes me nervous. Not that I'm necessarily a fan of lawyers and them keeping their jobs. It's more like if we automate and use AI to just give people more work, you're not helping any of the other sort of indirect and non-monetary, issues that relate to, engagement and work-life balance,
you're also
burnout,
probably the darker or a dark part of that is you're also probably laying off a lot of people. The people that did a lot of the pre-work that some of this is, they don't need those folks.
No, they're taking on more caseload because they can automate some of the other stuff. So maybe just like in recruiting, the paralegal job is shifting, right?
Could be.
So, I mean, the
quality control.
Yeah, I don't need. I don't care if my doctor can read through all the research journals in the world to tell me what my shit is.
Right.
If Watson's in the operating room and AI is saying, "Hey, dude, here's the cancer, here's the percentages of it," I'm game for that, and my doctor can then execute.
Right. Well, I look at it. I agree with you, Ryan. I guess I look at it a little bit differently in the sense that with AI, you're able to. I think that the catching what humans overlooked, gaps in, whether it was because one guy handed off to another guy, or he didn't have his coffee and didn't read this contract thoroughly, or whatever it is. So I do like that that use case a lot. But there's also the fact that AI, in a sense, if it's built and trained and evaluated properly, the models, you are almost encapsulating the collective intelligence of a bunch of people and sort of codified that such that you can dramatically accelerate, towards that, whatever the outcome is. And in healthcare, that's particularly sensitive because how many times you trust your doctor, but it's just one doctor, right? Like, how could you not get a second opinion or even a third or whatever? And these kinds of things, when you have it's not just one human in the loop necessarily, but it's someone who can understand, whether it's your internist or whoever, can sort of look across and say, I would never have caught that. I mean, I've had a medical scare in my family before where, these radiologists were like, I'm not even sure why I'm doing this test. This person's healthy and, whatever. But guess what? An oncologist sees something they don't like. So guess what? I'm listening to the fucking oncologist.
100%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I think, honestly, I mean, I think your doctor is going to be the second opinion. I don't think, I think the AI, and I keep using, I said Watson because Watson's already in a lot of ORs and with their stuff. I think that's your primary moving forward very soon. And your doctor is the secondary who then executes, or
trust but verify.
Trust, but and they're the verification. So,
So Riney, the dark underbelly of the second step, 20 to 30% higher settlement.
Yeah.
That actually sounds great because I've been in a car accident. I've actually sued and won, got made, it'll never make up for the loss of mobility and things like that. However, that money, those higher settlements get baked into your insurance costs. So this efficiency that we see on that side of the legal game, we pay for. So just so we all three understand those numbers, the person gets a higher settlement, and probably rightfully so. No hate.
Yeah.
However, Progressive's just gonna, and no hate to Progressive, they're just gonna raise their rates. Their actuarial tables are just gonna shift, and we're gonna pay the freight.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to happen.
There's no pause. That's a yes.
Well, I think
we are going to pay for freights.
He was, in his defense, he was pausing because I think he heard me trying to chime in. I do think we have to be very careful of who has access to this sort of optimization, output, because if it's the insurance company, maybe they raise their rates. Maybe, the law firm figures out how to, charge more if they get the case where they don't have as many billable hours, so they got to do something to make up that loss, or at least they think they do. And in the case of, I was just reading a New York Times article yesterday about how colleges come up with what to charge people, and it's like this complete
how much you
seriously,
got?
Exactly.
Oh,
that's
you
exactly
rich?
the point. Like
My zip code.
They gather they do all this in social analytics, and they aggregate all this data from all these different places, Doge style, and they basically say these people, this person can afford, 10 grand more, 15 grand more a year, and this other person can't, or they don't have a need, but to entice them, we're gonna give them we're gonna make up the name of this merit scholarship just to entice them to go, so they feel better that they're not paying full price. Goes back to Ryan's Colt example. It says tuition's 44, we'll just multiply it out. Tuition's 44 grand, but for you 22. You got another kid, let's do a buy one get one.
Yeah,
right. They'll just completely manipulate the numbers.
Dude, this is cynicism. We should rename the show. Welcome to
it's scary. But that's the power of having all of this information and being able to slice and dice and have this behavioral, analytics. I mean, I saw this back at IBM 10, 15 years ago, where they were micro-segmenting, these different audiences, and they were completely, sort of manipulating people. It becomes like psychological, warfare.
Yeah. All right, William.
Is that really your boss calling? Jericho Security raises $15 million to stop Deepfake fraud that cost businesses $200 million in 2025 alone. So this comes from VentureBeat. So go there and read about Jericho. So this follows the company's 5-month execution of a $1.8 million Department of Defense contract. I'm not saying that the NSA, CIA, and the FBI were involved, but come on now. I mean, it actually, the article is fantastic because they basically say, okay, with someone that has no experience, that has an image of you, voice of you, they can create a deep fake in 3 hours. Or it's scary how fast someone with very little experience can execute a deep fake.
Well, we did. Who was we did this the other day where the researcher, whatever it was, they created one in 70 minutes that passed the video interview.
Right.
For a candidate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. It's scary.
It's terrifying.
It is, but
it's
I'm
both sides. It's like you're excited about it because that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you're terrified because of bad actors, bad players are going to use it for bad shit.
Look, that's not even Bob. Bob's not even here. He's just, it's a deep fake and he's just talking like Bob. All right.
Tricked you.
I got one here. So this is a company called Crea. I was going to say Crea, but I know you're going to say Crea. So
there was a girl rapper named Krayshawn about a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
No relation.
That's what that Bob jumps in really quickly.
Anyway, he's like, yeah. So, all right. So these guys, they raised $83 million, and their goal is to become a one-stop shop for Gen AI creative. So let me explain this. So there's a gap that they found, and the gap that they're trying to address is that Gen AI, a lot of Gen AI tools have flooded, thousands have flooded the market. And what we're seeing now is great for us, right? Cool for us to go into ChatGPT, and some of even Canva has stuff and type it in. It's fun. But for real creatives who do this for a living, that have to earn a living doing this, they don't like this. They like the tools. Let me back up. They like the tools. They don't like building in all the Gen AI tools that are there because they're not prompt engineers. And all of these tools require them to not just put a prompt in, but also select the model that they want. There's hundreds of models. They got to go find the one that will get their photos just right. So
this is where a degree in art history helps you, brother.
That's it. So this is where Crea comes in. They're building the platform now. They've built the platform that allows the designer to go in, do their thing. It automatically selects the proper model and builds from there. So, anyhow, they've had pre-seed an A and a B. That's 3 million, 33, and 47 million. That's how to get to the 83. Bain Capital is leading this latest round. They also have Andreessen and Abstract, so they've got big players behind them. And they're in large enterprise. So they're building up now into large enterprise. So real creative teams. They've got Perplexity, Loop, Pixar, Lego, and Samsung are their banner enterprise companies that use them to drive all of their creatives. So these are things that are coming. I like it. Bob, you got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think the having to switch between models and decipher which one to use for what for the average person, not necessarily creatives where that's your primary source of income. It's tricky, right? Like I mean, I just got an email from Gemini the other day because I haven't been using. I paid attention because I haven't been using it. I have favorite Google Workspace and I haven't been using Gemini. So like,
I got that too.
Access to you have access to Notebook LM Plus and like all this stuff. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then they're like, oh, just remember you have access to all these different models. You've got this basic one, and then you've got this one with advanced reasoning, and then you've got what? I'm just like, how much time do you want me to take to play with all of this and see which output I like better? I mean, the same thing with ChatGPT. I think my custom ones default to a particular, model, but you're adding decision sort of fatigue and into the average person's process, which means you're actually taking away from the efficiency gains in some ways. And so you've got to play around, maybe see what works. The problem is these things are moving so fast that next week my options are going to be different.
So, and that's what their goal is, to cut that out. So William, you got two more?
I do. Timo Ohana, welcome to my JoJo. An innovative software platform designed to unite finance, HR, and talent teams has raised $7.5 million in seed funding. This is on hrtechedge.com. So go and read the funding report there. My thing, once I first read the story, was like, why did they separate HR from talent teams? Because it's in like everywhere it's posted, it's finance, HR, and talent teams. Like, okay, well, why is it just finance and HR? And it's down market. So it's Workday, but down market, so more of a bamboo HR type stuff. But I like the combination of for small businesses especially. I like the combination of HR and finance because there's so many overlaps already naturally there. So I do like that. I got stuck at like, okay, well, but why did they call out talent teams specifically? But congrats on the large seed. Good for them. Good for everybody else.
Feels like that's who they want to sell to, so they're saying it just so that it's heard.
Teams don't like to be called HR though.
That's it, Bob.
Right.
That's it.
So
especially hiring managers, they don't want to be lumped in.
Yeah, they won't relate if they see just finance and HR. I think.
Get used to it. It's coming.
That's fair. All right, now this one I think Bob's going to love. So let's just start there.
I'm going to go with he's going to hate it.
Good. All right. Dex, not Dexter. It's different. Dex, DEX, raises $3.1 million. They're building an AI-powered voice talent agent and machine learning matchmaking engine. It blends voice/chat interaction with smart matching, coaching, and retention features, helping people find jobs that align with their values and companies that find high-performing, mission-aligned hires. That's a lot of marketing speak. But yeah, this was feedtheai.com, which is one of my favorite websites. So let me finish the bit and then I'm gonna Bob go first. So how it works. For candidate, Dex speaks with users via voice or chat to gather deep insights on skills, goals, and experience, then uses machine learning to uncover personalized, often unlisted opportunities. It also assists with interview prep, compensation benchmarks, and negotiation. For employers, Dex learns a hiring team's needs and preferences, layering on top of that a large universe of proprietary analytic data to surface strong fit candidates not visible through traditional recruiting tools. Again, a lot of marketing speak in there, but that's okay.
I don't even know what they do at this point.
Bob,
so
let's go love it or hate it. We'll go the old Roman. Where you at?
I am quite skeptical. that they can do all of that effectively. I don't know what they just came out with a new Swiss Army knife. And I don't like focus.
You don't know if it has the snippers,
Focus.
little things that can clip your toenails. Yeah, fair.
Well, I'm not saying everybody has to fit neatly into a Talent Tech Labs, the bubbles, right? It doesn't.
I never believed in the bubbles.
Well, it was nice to sort of get a frame of reference, but the problem is everybody's in multiple bubbles these days, and
Right.
So I think that AI powered recruiting at the front end, if this is replacing like a recruiter phone screen, I think more and more candidates are going to accept and even like the interaction. They get to say in natural language the things that they want to say, the things that you'll never find on the resume, if that even needs to still exist. It's got to be obviously tested thoroughly and for fairness and bias and things like that, putting my responsible AI hat on. But I do think this is going to become the norm. You got to be transparent that you're going to use it and how you're going to use that data and store that data and things like that. It's got to be secure. It should also verify that this is actually a human person. If we can bake that aspect into it. But I do think it opens up the ability for people to not really ghost any human candidate and give them something back to say, listen, we applaud your trajectory so far. You've got some great core skills, but based on what we're looking for, here's some constructive criticism for next time, or for other roles or whatever. So I think these kinds of things do open up the opportunity to be more fair and be more respectful of candidates, and sort of counter the excuse that, well, I got 1,000 applicants for this job. What do you want me to do? You want me to send them a personal
Ryan,
letter?
Somebody said that last week. Somebody said something. They opened up a job like at midnight, and they got. It was something
he put a job up there, and he had 500 applications come through. Yeah,
like immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a massive, like, everybody would want this job in a developer community type thing. However, so they probably have it on alerts and all that stuff for when it comes through. However, they still got to get to that right thing. But
I like the candidate prep
I do.
pieces. I think people,
I love that negotiation.
There's not enough investment on the candidate side because, of course, you don't have enterprise customers, and if they don't have the revenue, then you may not get the VC or PE money and whatever. But I do think some of those tools are incredibly valuable for matching. We all want a win-win, right? And so you've got to let the candidates put their best foot forward without overstepping into unethical territory. But you've got to recognize that we're looking for a positive long-term relationship. Let's try to increase quality of hire. Let's try to increase tenures and increase engagement, instead of just making this like a futile, effort where you've got to, navigate this labyrinth and win the lottery to get an interview.
All right. Last words. There we go.
That's
We're
it,
all done.
babies. We're
Bob,
gonna
it
barf
was
next
wonderful
week.
having you here.
Yeah, this was fun, guys.
Coming on.
I was taking a lot of time out of your schedule, but thank you so much.
Yeah, William, we got William, we got travel coming up this week.
Charlotte,
so I will see you in just a couple of hours, and there we go. Thank you all for listening, watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thanks.